Alright, so this is my review of AC/DC's album Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. If you haven't seen my first AC/DC review on High Voltage, I'm doing the American versions of the albums because that's just what I grew up with and it's what I have. So this album, I'm not sure when the Australian version was released. I think this one was released in like 1981 in America. This wasn't one of the AC/DC albums I listened to a whole lot growing up. It's one of the ones I had. But I remember kind of really only listening to the title track a lot, like when I was in high school and going through my big AC/DC phase. But yeah, I really didn't listen to a lot of the tracks on here growing up, so I'm not as familiar with it, and I didn't actually get a chance to listen to it today before doing this because I've been having a hard time getting time to do these videos, been kind of busy lately. So I was just trying to fit this in really fast, so I didn't actually get a chance to listen to it today, but I did a couple days ago. So the first track, Dirty Deeds, it's basically the track that I used to listen to probably the most off this album. I think it's a great classic AC/DC song. I don't really know what else to say about it. I love Bon's vocal on it, especially like that weird scream he does at the end. I've always found that really funny, and I love the way he says high voltage in it when he like sings high voltage. The second song, Love at First Feel, is a song that I actually like a lot now listening to it. I'm surprised I wasn't more into it when I was younger. Actually, this album as a whole kind of like, I kind of understand why I didn't listen to it a lot growing up, but at the same time it also surprises me a little bit with some of these songs. Which this is one. I think it's a pretty good song, and kind of surprised I didn't like it more when I first listened to it. The third song, Big Balls, this song, I obviously thought it was funny as hell when I first heard it back in like high school. I still think it's pretty funny, because honestly, just that they did it and put a song like this out there, I think it's pretty funny. But actually, I like the guitar in the song quite a bit. Like, I think the guitar intro is pretty cool. The fourth song, Rocker, is actually another song I used to listen to off this album. So really, I listened to like 2 songs off this album when I was younger. And I really liked this song, or always really liked this song. It's just a cool, fast rock song. It's got a really cool guitar solo on it. The fifth song, Problem Child. Another song I like. I like the drumming on that song quite a bit, actually. Kind of what Phil does with the cymbals on it, I think is cool. It just kind of sounds cool with it. The sixth song, There's Gonna Be Some Rockin', is another one where I like Angus' solo. And I kind of thought this song, I at least wrote down here that like this song to me sounded kind of like, I don't know, not as like heavy as what I typically think of AC/DC being, which it kind of is a thing. Like, this album doesn't like, some of the songs don't seem to rock as hard as what I normally associate with like AC/DC doing, and it's probably because it's one of their earlier albums. It might have to do with the like production too, but that's not like a bad thing. I think it's pretty cool, actually, that it sounds different. Because everybody's always saying that AC/DC all their albums sound the same. That's definitely not true. They all sound pretty different, if you kind of like know what you're listening for. The seventh song, Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire. This is kind of different for them too. It's kind of a longer song. It's like 6 minutes and 58 seconds. And it's one of the songs that kind of just like builds for a while, but it's another one that I like. It took me a while to kind of get into, but now I definitely like it. The eighth song, Ride On, is even more different for AC/DC. It's a slow song, almost like a ballad, really. It's good though. I like it. I like Bon's vocal on it. I think it works pretty well. It's just really different for them. And then the ninth song, Squealer. It's more a normal song for them. It does start off kind of slower. But it's got some kind of cool bass playing on it. The bass stands out on it a little bit more than it does on some AC/DC tracks. But it's a pretty good song, and I think like, even though I didn't listen to this album a lot growing up, this time on listening to it, I actually thought it was really good, and it's definitely an album I'm going to go back and listen to some more. I like every song on it, really. There's none that I don't like. So, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, I give it a 4 out of 5. I don't know if this would be like the first AC/DC album I'd pick to listen to if I was getting into them. Definitely, probably not, because I'd definitely probably start with Highway to Hell or Back in Black for that. But it's a good album if you're into AC/DC, especially the Bon years. Definitely give it a listen.